Oh, exciting! We have a new game.
All right, so we have Moiz Ullah playing against Weibin. Yeah, I mentioned that. Thank you.
RSTNRGK. Oh my, he has no vowels.
That is vowelless. Meanwhile,
but he can play GRR if you would like to.
grrr, does Jesse Matthews chef not particularly well.
How do airplanes make the food?
Well, I guess technically I cook there. So essentially, casseroles are all in little tiny, like rectangular
Yeah.
shape, like tin.
Yeah.
It's kind of like tin foil, but not entirely. That containers that they're put into with a oven safe sort of little lid that they put on all of it. You put a whole bunch of them in different racks in the oven, and then it's either steamed or convection heated in the ovens for a certain amount of time.
Huh, steamed. Interesting.
Yeah, so depending on, like, say if I had dumplings to serve somebody in first class, that I would have to steam those. However, some people have learned the hard way. You cannot use the steam cook option on cookies. Cookies do not cook well when they are steam cooked. Luckily, I've never done that, but some people I've worked with, they've used steam by mistake and ruined cookies.
How long do you have to steam it?
If you were to steam something like the buns or the dumplings, it would be like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, it's a
not
long
bad.
time.
They're pre-cooked already, and then they usually have to be frozen or partially frozen, so they last for the trip. And you're thawing them and warming them up. So yes, VoIP is on the right for I do believe that is Moiz Ullah on the right. And then Weibin on the left.
Oh, we should get the person going first to always sit on the... Wait. So Weibin's going first? Yeah.
The time
it must
is...
be.
Oh, so there must have been... Oh, there's a change. So the change, when you had all the gur and all that, there was an exchange.
Oh. Wait. Oh. Oh, I see.
Okay, he's just switched the sides. Perfect. So then Moiz Ullah, I believe, just made the move of VoIP, keeping ERI.
What did Weibin keep?
I think he kept ST.
So I guess he was choosing between Vareo and Weib.
So I'm told he kept RST.
Cool.
RST was kept for that exchange.
Cool.
So Zoe, as Jeremy mentioned, is an option on top of VoIP at the moment. Aaron, there is an E, I believe, as the last option. Yeah, Mozster. So Weibin is playing Mortizes. Yeah.
That is not a word.
Yeah, usually requires the A in front.
And mortis is a word, but not mortize.
That's her problem.
Yeah, we can just type in the... Oh, it's being challenged. Oh, good. Wait, is it not? Wait, it's not being challenged? Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my gosh, that's so... Oh. What an aggressive move.
I don't know what to say, Michael, because this is just like an individual problem. Like, it's not the stream. The stream's working fine.
We'll just send her the link, eh?
She says something about like not being able to click on the camera icon and see the stream. Like, that's something with her computer or her setup, because the stream is working fine.
Interesting. The thing is, Moiz is not that much better than Zoe, right? That's a very questionable. Like Moiz and Zoe simulate almost the same. Like they both have 64 to 65% expected win percentage. Oh, so it's. I almost wonder if Weibin actually thinks that Moiz is a word.
I assume he must.
Interesting. Does oh, it's an X, isn't it?
So Nixie has been put down with ERS as leftover.
That seems like he's breaking up a very good rec for not a whole lot of reason. Like he could have just played XI in a few different places.
Yeah, maybe chasing the blank, possibly.
Well, if you're behind by a bingo, you should bingo.
I would have to agree.
Oh my gosh, he has a huge double-double already.
Aerotone, yeah. And yes, Zeb, that is correct. This is the 5-point challenge rule, so if you have even a little bit of doubt, I'd recommend challenging.
Wow. Wow, and Moiz has very little. The only thing he can really cash in on is the A hook of amortizes, but he probably wants to save that. And he's down by more than 100. Oh.
That's a G there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, and look at Weibin's pull. Yeah, that's...
Yes, Atterburn and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for Moiz, he has some... I don't know, would you use the... His only scoring play is really use the A hook on amortizes, like GAE, AGO, and those like kind of ruin the best bingo lane on the board.
They do. He's also behind.
Yeah. One nice play is EPOS, making ZO and Nixies. That scores a lot and leaves AEGR, which is still a possibility to bingo, but it also really, really closes the lower right part of the board, and that would be very problematic.
Ego above Nixie is an interesting suggestion with Vox and Guy and N.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It does leave the hooks for very high scoring responses to the triple word score if you have, like, say, a W or something like that. So I'm not sure I'd play it just because of the snapback options. It is a nice play, though.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't be if I don't think defense is a reason to not play it, right? Because you're down by 100, and at the very least, if your opponent plays there, at least that's opening more lanes for you. Whereas otherwise, it might be quite tricky to open up that part of the board.
That's fair.
What do you think is lining up with Geo? Do you think he's... I mean, I hope he's not hoping to play that, like, upper right.
Geo over the ONE and Aerotone?
Yeah, that would be...
I wouldn't do that, no. That's what he's gonna do.
I don't... Oh, gosh. Why?
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's... disaster. Oh, gosh. And that ruins, like, all your best lines and all your best dynamism of the board. Oh.
And wow, it's been pointed out Adabrin fits on top of that still.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, no. I mean, this is great for Weibin.
That's going to be a huge score.
Oh, boy.
You're not going to have to think about that one much. If you see it, just put it down.
Yeah. This is a rough game for Moiz because it's...
Yeah, Weibin can see it. There it goes. Oh, no, never mind. He's holding back.
Moiz deserves to be down right now, but not by 200.
Yeah, so there goes Adabrin for a quite large score. 102 points.
Oh. How do you pronounce Baiged, Benji?
Oh, Baig. Nice.
Oh, I get it.
Like his last name.
Good one.
The pun is strong in this one.
Yeah. Oh. 2 F racks are really exciting, but Moiz doesn't have any exciting words, as would befit such a nice rack.
Excuse me. What are the hooks on Adabrin? Yes, that would just be an S. So if you're Moiz here, what on earth do you even do?
Yeah.
Because like in this event, remember spread is only going to tie break something really, so I mean like he can't, barring a miracle involving both blanks and very fortuitous draws, he's probably not going to win, so you kind of have to play to not lose so much spread.
Yeah. Off was Quackle's favorite play.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
So Weibin has, it looks like Jug and then WDLS. Meanwhile, Moiz Ullah has drawn Ensnare for his next turn. So the interesting thing with that is if you were to play Atabrins and Snare, leaving a juicy hook, because when you're down by so much, it's an interesting thing to think about. Is like, hey, maybe I can miraculously draw a D or an S line when it doesn't have to score, but
or R.
Or R, yeah.
Oh, it's regrettable.
Yeah. But the thought would at least cross your mind at this point when you're down by so much.
I mean, Jug plays with Goff, Goff. It's probably the best play by a lot.
And that's what he's going to do, Jug and Goff. Solid play by Weibin so far.
Yeah. Quackle estimates that Weibin's more than 99.5% chance to win. It's regrettable. And he has a D and an S to go with Ensnare. Oh, Ensnare fits.
Ensnare is a nice underlap.
To amortizes.
I'm actually not sure which one I'd prefer.
You should definitely play to the R amortizes, because otherwise that part of the board will never be opened.
So it looks like he's going for the triple line. So that's gonna.
Oh gosh, this game is.
That will hurt in the morning. So there's Wild MST, I think it is. So Wild is the likely play coming up.
Oh, you could steal his rock with Mildewiest.
Look at you go.
Oh, Mildewy doesn't compare. Never mind. That's too bad. Multi-windows, thimbleweeds, dwindlements.
Kempi 8. If I recall correctly, I believe that's Jennifer Lee. Hello. Welcome to the stream.
Hello. Oh. Wild score 63.
You have made it to the stream. Welcome, welcome. And yes, Wild from Weibin will score a lot. And for Jackson Smiley, he's asking, who else is hearing Jason Katz-Brown's voice for the first time?
No, mildewy is a word, it just doesn't compare, which is baffling and regrettable. Kind of like meadowy.
So Jennifer Lee says, Jason, my non-Scrabble friend Anjali says she went to MIT and had a Chinese class with you.
Oh, indeed. I remember her. That was a fun class.
Chinese classes, look at that.
Yeah.
Master of languages over here.
You speak French professionally.
Je peux même gérer assez bien français, oui.
Wow.
Et espagnol.
Wow.
But you have many more under your belt there.
I'm looking forward to when somebody plays a Malay word so that we can talk about all the Malay words that are in the Scrabble dictionary. Because a lot of them are really cool.
Mm-hmm. So, like, does Rojak count as Malay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm never sure because I know that there's the whole Singapore-Malaysia rivalry. I don't want to enrage anybody by saying that one thing belongs to one country that doesn't.
Right.
But I think Rojak is Malaysian.
And Wild has been played for 63.
Yeah, and then Vaunst has come down from Moiz Ullah shortly after that. Question from Chris Hawkins. Do the commentators think the next Nigel has been born yet? I'm not sure, really. Nigel's such an enigmatic character with really no equal as far as the eidetic memory goes, that it's pretty tough to say if the next Nigel's been born, because they would have to find Scrabble. Like, to have someone who has a mind that works like Nigel's and likes Scrabble and puts in the time to read the book and learn the strategy, that's a tough thing to say. So it's possible they've been born, but whether they're playing Scrabble, that's another thing altogether. So I think at the moment... Hey?
In Rosemary's Baby, there was a little Satan was born, and she said, I think he's going to be another great Scrabble player.
Nice. Nice. Barry Harridge, our director for the tournament, providing some insight on that question as well. I would say, as far as someone active in the Scrabble scene at the moment, I don't think the next Nigel's been born in that sense, but are they out there? Quite possible. I think there's a few players you can highlight from respective parts of the world that are very promising as far as the future of Scrabble goes. As far as someone who, with time and effort to go in over long term, you know, someone like Will Anderson, his word knowledge is terrifying as far as how good it is. Will, for those of you who don't know, he grew up playing Boggle. That's how he came to Scrabble. There's a trend for different Boggle players. Will is one of them. Matthew Bernardina is another Boggler that came to Scrabble as well, who's a very good Scrabble player. I would say Will is very promising for the future of Scrabble, certainly. But again, I'm coming from North America, so I know there's people from all over the world that are very promising. Even though this game is not necessarily showing it, Pakistan is a huge part of the future of Scrabble, and Moiz Ullah is one of the best players from Pakistan. Things not going so well for him this game, but Moiz is a very good player, and I expect to see him continue to get even better and work his way up to the ranks. At one point this year, he was rated higher than Wasim, so he was Pakistan's #1 Scrabble player. I don't know if he still has that distinction, but he did hold the title at some point this year. He is our current World Youth Scrabble champion. Weibin has been a World Youth Scrabble champion in the past, and in this battle of the World Youth Scrabble champions, it is Weibin who is coming out on top.
I'd love to get one of the Pakistanis in to do interview and commentary.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'd love to hear their perspective.
I think Moiz would certainly come in to do that. He's very media friendly. I've seen some of the stuff he's done for Pakistan media.
Oh, he had like a blog, didn't he?
He's done a fair bit of stuff, so I know we could with him. I bet Sohaib would probably come on camera as well.
Great.
So, Peter, it was VoIP first, and then Mortizes was played by Weibin as a phony, and it was accepted.
Should Weibin... He has the Q, eh? Should he just play the Q? Why doesn't he just play the Q? He's playing mid instead of the...
So mit, and he's holding on to CQRS. Interesting.
So I guess he's... Oh, because if he draws an I, he has a big Q play on top of Adabrin's.
Yep, Chin scores a fair bit up there, so...
If he draws an A, he can...
He does have an I there, so yep, Chin will be a nice high score next turn. And yeah, Jennifer, Will is an extremely fast boggler, and also when you watch him in person typing in solutions for Aerolith, it is mind-boggling just how fast he is.
Yeah.
I remember once upon a time when I studied more and I grew up playing classical piano, I can type reasonably fast, but Will's on another level as to how fast he goes. I think there's a guy named Sean Rona who hasn't played a whole lot of tournament Scrabble, but he's been in World Typing Championships before. I think he's possibly the only person as far as speed goes that is faster than Will, but I don't think he plays Aerolith, so his scores aren't on there. Roger Coleman is in the room. Hello back to you. Welcome. And as has been pointed out in the chat, Dislodge is available from the D in Vaunst. Yeah, Will is extremely difficult to take on in Aerolith. Jeremy, I didn't know for sure if Sean Rona was the actual current world's fastest typist. I know that he's competed consistently for that title, but if he is, yeah, I certainly believe it. He is extremely fast. The thing with Will on Aerolith as well is how fast he does the blank bingos. Like, it's not even just the regular anagrams that he can do, or alphagrams, pardon, but the blank bingos he's extremely fast at as well. Yeah, I believe that Will was about 120 words a minute, and I think for those of you who, yeah, probably faster. For those of you who have done typing programs or classes before, there's two variables that are calculated. There's just raw words per minute, and then there's what they call the adjusted words per minute. And adjusted words per minute is usually the number that takes into account any typos or errors that are made, because there's people who just simply type fast because they are fast. But they don't necessarily type the right characters. They lose, precious time having to fix their mistakes. So my impression is Will is probably does not have much of a difference between his adjusted words per minute and his raw words per minute. Sean, yeah, when he's typed, usually part of the World Typing Championships involves a transcript of some sort that you just have to type as it shows up on the screen, and yeah, he has some absurdly fast number like that.
Did anybody see Moiz's other bingo option? Oh yeah, Noah did.
Yeah, dog piles was mentioned. Yeah. That's a nice spot. Jennifer, when she's getting ready, Evans will ask how long it takes her to finish getting ready. Request a response in 2 or 5 minute increments, so he knows how much Aerolith he can finish before you leave. That's cute. That is couple goals right there. Does anyone else type in Dvorak? When I did, when I was young, this is showing my age, but Mavis Beacon teaches typing. I did that when I was much younger. Yeah. And Dvorak was an option that was given for a keyboard, but I was just so used to QWERTY and could never really change it in my head, because I always liked to type without looking at the keyboard, and having to think about a different layout like Dvorak just for me just never was going to take off, because I was used to memorizing the keys from the piano and then the keys from a QWERTY keyboard. I just didn't want to change that in my head. But Dvorak, I know some people like it, and all the power to you. Evan's Aerolith name. I actually don't remember. Do you know?
No.
We'll have to ask him, because I totally forget. It could be Vinyl Chances. That is the most likely what it is, because that's an anagram of his name that he uses for lots of things. But yeah, I can check with you or with him and get back to you, but I believe it's Final Chances. Yeah, I assume Jennifer would know better than any of us. That was just my calculated guess. Oh, a hider. He possibly has a hider. Okay, that's why. Okay, I'll ask him, and if he allows me to share, then I will. But if not, I'll leave that secret. So Weibin is holding on to the blank there with a consonant-heavy rack.
Yeah, it doesn't have any bingos. You can play SH underneath Goff and Aerotone to make Faz and Fe at 36.
I think that's reasonable, certainly. I mean, with your lead, because you have a blank, why not?
That will facilitate his victory.
Because he doesn't necessarily even need to bingo. He just needs to keep on scoring to keep his lead. Bingo's nice, but...
To recap the standings, we have the U.S. in first place still. They have 3 points in the 4 rounds so far. In second place is Nigeria. Nigeria took the top 5 spots at the African Championships last week.
I believe they had 4. It was 6 of the top 10 spots. I know that.
Top 10 spots.
I can't remember what the top 5 looked like, but I can tell you, for Team Nigeria, first place was Moses Peter, the new African champion, and he is here representing Nigeria. Second place was Wellington Jiger, who is not here because he has an event that is in Nigeria that clashes with this weekend. I believe it's some sort of mind sports event equivalent that they have in the country that he had already committed to. And then third place after that, I believe, was Etakaro. And he is here representing Nigeria. So very strong Nigerian team.
Yeah, strong team.
It's worth noting that that Moses actually cleared the field by several games to win the event. So Aaron, I didn't hear anything like that. I will have to get back to you. That is news to me.
That would be bad. Michael Tang has made all of the players on the same team face the same direction in the playing hall as
Jennifer, that's actually a good question. I don't know. That is possibly it. If I am mistaken, my apologies. I can check and let you know. Yeah, so sh has been played, and faz and fe. Aaron, if you want to use the private message function, that's probably the best thing to do, just so we don't throw anyone under the bus. So Weibin has drawn the second blank. That will seal the deal for him for sure.
Cool. Good ideas for pre-electin particle after Moiz plays Pania. Moiz's best choice was probably something like AALII to the left of end snare and to the right of mitt. Kind of like that.
So we're going to be going for for lunch after this round. Just to let you know, Michael has slightly adjusted the time to come back. On our schedule, originally 2:30 was the time given, local time, to reconvene for games. But 2 p.m. local time now is the time. And just to give you context, it is currently 12:16 p.m. local time. So it will be 1 hour 45 or 44 minutes from now that we will reconvene for the next round of play once this match is concluded. If you have any questions you would like me to take to any particular player, if you have a favorite player you're following here, or just someone else in general that you'd like to get some information on, let me know in the chat. If it's a reasonable request, I can chat to them over lunch and see if I can get an answer back for you when we come back on the air in the afternoon.
Yeah, great idea. We can send any message that you want to these players.
Again, within reason, please. Hello, Rebecca Slipka. Thanks for joining us, and I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I am privileged to be joined by Jason Katz-Brown for the event for the next couple of days. So I'm doing my best to not to railroad him all the time, so we get some equal time talking on here.
Oh, your voice is so beautiful.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Oh. Why has Weibin behind on time?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question.
I feel like I used to do this, where I'd just be winning by a lot and still be taking way too much time. And I just felt like a terrible person.
Josh Greenway asks, how did Will adjust to the flight? He mentioned this on NASPA Tonight last week, and did it have an impact on Game 1? Will's actually had a fair bit of time in Southeast Asia, or I guess Asia in general. He was in Hong Kong first. So he's been here for enough time where he slept well. Actually, last night, even though he's not feeling the best, he did sleep reasonably well because he went to bed early. And he's just not feeling super good still. He's should hopefully be in tip-top shape in another day or two. But no, I don't think it was anything as far as jet lag that would have affected that first game. I don't even think that it was his illness that had any role in Game 1, really. He played quite well. I don't remember Will making any obvious mistake in Game 1. I think it was just Ganesh drew a little bit better, and Will actually made it very close in the end game, even though he never was supposed to win.
Yeah. Yeah, Will did really well.
Moiz has yay on his rack. Yay! And then over on Weibin's side, there's Kia. It's like a D-L-U-R. Josh, actually, there were a number of travel problems. So the one that was the most notable is the reason why we didn't have a game for round 3. Ed Oculitz of Australia, he was coming from Helsinki to Penang via Doha on Qatar Airways, but there was an issue with a flight delay from Finland, and as a result he misconnected in Doha and then had to get rebooked several times before finally making it. He arrived shortly before the end of round 3 this morning, but due to a miscommunication with Michael and the players that were supposed to replace him on board one, we didn't actually have a streamed game for round 3. We did a more of a question and answer thing, but Ed's opponents are graciously going to replay the games with him at some point during the tournament. So in, I think, at least 1, if not 2 out of the 3 cases, Australia already got a point regardless, so it would just be a tiebreaker as far as spread and number of wins for the team goes. But I don't think, oddly enough, that any of the matchups that Australia have for those 3 rounds will be changed based on him playing those games later. So Michael Tang has just come by to share some interesting information. Nigel Richards has actually just lost his round 4 game. He's only won 1 out of his 3 or 4 games today. So very noteworthy as far as how difficult this field is, you know, when pretty much the greatest player of all time is struggling to win matches here just because the caliber of the field is so good.
Yeah.
He's playing the weakest player of
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is right now he's actually playing the people as far as seeding goes. He's playing people who aren't as rated high as some of his future opponents. So yeah, he's off to a tough start so far.
One of his games he didn't even score 300 points.
Yeah, his lowest 200 and something.
Yeah, I think in round 2, or the first game really.
Who is he playing?
Ullah, the Nigerian.
Yeah, in round 1 he only scored 279 against Olatunde Odewole.
Wow, yeah, 5'11 to 279. Olatunde won against Nigel. So yeah, Nigel is having some trouble early on.
On the other hand, Ganesh is winning all his games.
And to note, so far Ganesh has won all of his games. So in the battle of the two titans here, currently Ganesh is off to an early lead. Allison, I thought they were going to be going for lunch after this round. Let me just double check. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. No, round 5 is 12:30. Let me check with Michael. I'll leave you with Jason for a minute, and I'll get the actual updated schedule for you.
Maybe they just made lunch break from an hour to 30 minutes. Cool. Oh, we have a new play. A Viali. That's cute. That was the highest scoring play. That's 42. Now he's only down by, he's still down by 164. What did you learn, Jesse?
Okay, so I have just spoken with Michael, and what I had said earlier on the stream is correct. So this is the break after this match is over, and then we are back at 2 p.m. local time for the next round. So right now it is 12:23 p.m. local time, 12:24, and we're going to be back on the air at 2 p.m. with the next round of play. The schedule that's on my lanyard, and likely the one that's on the website, Michael said to ignore it because we've had to adjust it. So it'll be round 5 that starts at 2 p.m. So lunch break is coming up.
What do you think the story of this game is?
Story of this game, I mean, it has to be Mortizes, honestly, because it changed so much. As you mentioned in the evaluation, Zoe and Mortizes is actually almost the same, so it doesn't really seem to be much of an advantage as far as playing it. I think it's just I think he honestly thought it was a word. Yeah. Because there's really no reason to play it unless you do. Yeah,
and it's shocking that Moiz didn't challenge. It really, as you mentioned, it really shows the respect that Moiz must have for Weibin. Weibin was the second World Scrabble champion ever. And
youth champion?
World youth champion.
Yeah.
And I know that if everybody who goes to a World Youth Championship knows who came before them, and
they do.
And
Weibin does have very strong word knowledge as far as where his depth of words goes to. So there's that too. I think it's easy for me to say because I have omniscience here, but when I'm not sure, I do like to challenge in cases like that. Yeah. But that's easy for me to say. I'm not the one sitting there to play. But Mortizes is probably the story. Just what happened after that is de-amortizes. Much troll.
What would that mean? How recombine things that you have accounted separately?
Don't know what to tell you. And off comes the D and the E. Maybe he feels like just because Moiz is stuck with all the vowels, he might as well just try. I don't know.
Fair enough.
That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. So sorry, I stepped out before I could actually see the answer to the questions you had for me to ask the players. Let's see.
I don't think anybody's requested anything.
Oh, yeah, they haven't.
Nobody wants to send like a message to anybody? Nobody wants to give their consolation to Nigel?
No love for Nigel. That's too bad. There was a note earlier up in the chat that fiancés are playing each other later on today. So Evans and Austin will be playing at some point today, is what I gathered from that.
Wow.
And it looks like we have some Scrabble women meeting on the chat for the first time.
Yay.
Jennifer Lee and Allison.
For the record, the best play for Weibin was Ald underneath Dislodge, setting up Urk to go out.
Rebecca says, to tell Nigel we've all been there on the losing side. I'm told to tell all the Aussies they're great.
No, we can do that. They are
We
pretty
can
good.
certainly do that. And then I have to note, just as a random little trivia point here, Allison loves books. You know, that's one thing. I'm going to talk to her is when she was at the Fort Wayne event for the North American Scrabble Championship, she was there, you know, supporting and watching, of course, but she was buried nose deep into a book, you know, whenever I'd see her. She loves reading.
Wow, what an aggressive reading goal.
Yes.
100 books.
100 books for Jennifer. Zev Kaufman is asking me to tell Adam Logan I'm rooting for him. I can certainly pass that on.
Yeah.
Yes, Noah, as mentioned a little bit earlier, the break is after this round, and we're coming back at 2 p.m. local time, which is approximately 1.5 hours from now. And yes, Jennifer loves a good book as well. This is true.
I wonder if the players don't really realize that spread is not really a thing.
It's not a huge factor, to be fair. Yeah.
I guess the main factor is the individual prize for people not in the top 3 teams.
Yeah, because there is prizes for that too.
The
So.
first person gets $1,000 who's not in the top 3 teams. But the winner of that will probably. It's hard to imagine there being a tie. That spread would need a tiebreaker.
With that many games, there's too much variance, I think. It doesn't seem that likely.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Allison. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to seeing you back at another point. Hopefully we'll have other games with Will later on that we can broadcast for you as well. Sleep well.
Yeah. Take care. Cool. Quackle thinks the best endgame here is Iota underneath Wild, but it thinks that Alu is only 1 point worse.
Chris Hawkins says 4:30 a.m. in the UK, so he's going to bed, and thank you. Thank you for staying up, Chris. We know it's a sacrifice. See you for other games a little bit later on.
Yeah. Great work out there, everybody. The best play now for Weibin is Adjur.
So he's playing Drake. I'll see if I can find anyone to bring into the studio before they run off for lunch. I'll leave you with Jason for just a minute. I'm going to try and grab somebody.
Great idea. Find somebody new to the scene. And Moiz goes out with Aji. Oh, he almost gets to 400 points. He ends up with 399. Oh, this is a rough game. I hope that he is not too discouraged by making a very large blunder on board 1. I always never know what to make of a mistake followed by a mistake. Like my biggest mistake ever was in the last game of the King's Cup. I missed Sealery to clinch a spot in the final, but that was only available because Pequarn, my opponent, had made an extreme blunder by giving me a place to bingo out, and so I didn't know whether to feel bad about, like, I shouldn't have been able to win that game, so I didn't feel that bad about not winning that game. But I guess I just wish that he never made that mistake in the first place. And I can imagine being Moiz and being just kind of mad that Weibin made the mistake of playing Mortizes in the first place.
I have brought in Weibin.
Whoa, we have Weibin.
Where do I stand?
We had a chair. Sorry, a little earlier.
Here, have this chair.
I'll stand up. Oh, you got it? You can sit down.
Weibin, do you think that Mortizes is a word?
Mortizes?
Yeah, do you think that's a word?
Not so sure, but is it a word?
It's not.
Yes, very good.
So we thought maybe you thought it was a word.
Yeah, no, it's the kind of word that if you miss it on stream, it's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
This is very fair.
No, but if you sim ZO versus Mortizes and Cockle, they sim about identical.
What?
They sim about the same.
Really?
So, yeah, it was
Oh.
interesting. So we thought, well, on that basis, you probably just assumed it was a word, and it worked out very well for you.
It worked out very well. Excellent. I think yeah, Moiz, yeah, he didn't blink.
He didn't, no.
Yeah, so that's the way to do it. Yeah.
And then Jennifer Lee from the US says hello to you. She misses hanging
hi.
out with you.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi.
Let's see what else we have here. Some other questions that were for Jason. So besides Mortizes, clearly, and then you tried de-amortizes a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Troll you.
I was ahead by a lot. So.
Wait, you're an economist. You should.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to figure out what it would mean, but I was like, no, it doesn't matter. It's going to score 69 points. I'm ahead by 100 plus. So
we didn't get to see Moise's face or expression when you played that. What did he look like? Did he just like insta pause the clock? Or?
No, actually, he's super calm and he's a great guy. I mean, he's just. I mean, after I played at the Brin, if someone did that to me, I would probably jump out of my seat.
Yeah.
But yeah. He held his composure very well, and he caught up a little bit. Yeah, so I think that, yeah, he's a great guy.
So in this clash of the World Youth Scrabble Champions, this time it goes to you. Well done.
Yeah, I mean it's only one round, so I don't have to play him again.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
the only other one that you would have is you'd play Eldar, another clash of the World Youth Champions. That will happen eventually.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So we'll have to see if you can go 2-0 for the World Youth Champion matchups.
Well, I mean, given how I played this round, maybe not so sure. I have to study more words.
You never know.
What other mistakes did you make?
What?
You only made one mistake.
Mortizes?
One bad mistake.
Mortizes?
Yeah, otherwise you play great.
Well, I mean, it's a phony state, so maybe, yeah.
All right, we know that you need to have lunch on a limited schedule, so
All right.
thanks for coming in fast. Good luck
you
in your
so
next
much.
games.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll see you later. That was Weibin coming in studio briefly. We are going to be away for lunch as well. Remember, we'll be back at 2 p.m. local time, so given that it is 12:38 right now, that will be in 1 hour and approximately 20 minutes from now. We'll be back with round 5 on the air.
Round 5. Who's it
And
going to be?
again, that is at 2 p.m., not 2:30 p.m. local time like the schedule online says. So if you come at 2:30, you're going to miss some of the action.
Well, we get to watch Will versus Nigel
Indeed. That was the
in
plan.
only an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. We'll be back in a little bit of time. Appreciate the feedback on the commentary. We wouldn't do this without you watching, of course, so any of your feedback and commentary back to us, we welcome all the time. Until 2 p.m. local time, Jesse Matthews, Jason Katz-Brown signing out. We'll be back very soon. Thank you.